and gentlemen, I'm Agiomirgiannakis representing Tailors Group, and I'm here today in front of you to tell and present you GRIN MARIN, a biofuel which Tailors Group has developed aside its mainstream biofuels activity. We have started from conception, moved to lab production, moved to patenting. We have already established pilot factory production and are now going into full-scale production of this biofuel. So, because we have a limited time for an unlimited matter, let us go through a few things. Who we are. Tailors Group was established in 2007. We are mostly into biofuels, biodiesel, bioethanol, and oleochemicals in general. Let me run through these things, some of milestones in our course. We work mostly with multinationals and mostly in the oleochemicals industry, like ADM, like the Greek refineries, etc. Let's leave these slides because I don't think they interest you that much. What may interest you is this GRIN MARIN, this new fuel. What is this? It's a biofuel, it's proprietary and patented by Tailors. The main difference from other biofuels is that it meets exactly, it's synthetic, that's why, it meets exactly the ISO 8217 standard, distillate standard, which is the standard for the fossil marine fuel. What does this mean? You don't need to make any sort of changes to your engines. You don't need to change your logistics chain, your Q&Q. When, for example, you call Sable to go and check your fuel, you don't have to send 3 or 4 specifications, change your tanks or whatever. How is this doable? For starters, if I wanted to categorize it, I would bring it near more to HVO or biodiesel, but without the disadvantages of HVO or biodiesel in the marine industry. It has a very, very high, we have been very careful about the carbon emission reduction. We have brought it somewhere around 80%, which means that you need to blend less than you would have with regular biodiesel or with HVO. Is higher, of course, but it has other problems. So it cannot be burned efficiently inside a marine engine, a vessel engine. As you may see here, it's cheaper than regular biodiesel. Other things that you may want to know, of course, it drops directly nitrous and sulfur and phosphor emissions, which are not the case always with fossil fuels. It's 100% biodegradable. It has nothing to do with problematic fuels, like, for example, if you lose petroleum, there is a leak and there is a damage. If you lose ammonia, the whole of it blankets the ocean and it kills all life. So this is biodegradable. It's safe even if it's spilled. Let me move a bit because we have little time. You may see some differences having to do with biodiesel, which is its main competitor. It's not a methyl ester, if you ask. It has high calorific value, which is important. When you move a ship, you need power to move it. And actually, what you should pay for is megajoules and not kilograms. But this is another thing. And it's cheaper than most biofuels. Let me move a bit faster. This is a comparison that we have made with several parameters, having to do also with other things. Technology readiness, distribution, raw material availability, which is very important, feasibility, how ready you are to produce it. I mean, okay, we can talk in the lab. I'm a chemist myself, so I'm talking of experience. You can talk in the lab as much as you want, but it took us several years to take this fuel from the lab and bring it to actual production. Okay, let me pass through this as well. We have tested it in several engines. It runs like a baby, very well. Of course, we're not alone in this journey. It would be not wise to say that. We're the proprietor. Tailors Group is the proprietor and producer of the fuel. The technology is provided by Air Liquide. Production and distribution, I will talk to you about these things because it's important to know where you can get this fuel. It has been in conjunction with, we have initial understandings with Euroports. They will give us access to their ports. Of course, we have our advisors as well. So, production. I think in June 2024, this is our Arizona facility. We will be ready. We're already building it, as you may see, to produce some 15 metric tons per day on a regular production, somewhere around June, roughly. Because time is pressing, let me tell you about stage 2 of production. We have agreed with Philippus Port in the northern of Greece, of where we have stakes and shares there. Around October 2025, again with our liquid technology, this is a rendering, we will be ready to produce there 450 metric tons per day. Moving on in stage 3, doesn't want to move. This is actually gradually until 2031. As Mr. Kapatarakis very wisely said, there's not enough fuel, there's not enough for everybody. We're planning about producing some 150K per factory. Factories are highlighted with green, with yellow, and then we have the ports that will be distributed right below them. So in the next, roughly 8-9 years, we will be producing some 450 to 500K metric tons of green marine per year. Of course, we know it's not enough for the market, but this is a viable, now working, plug-and-play solution for your vessels. We are currently, let me see if I have something else to tell you. Okay, this is a map of where we plan to produce and distribute. We are currently, the maturity is that we're already producing in very small scale, of course. We will be producing in 6 months in 15, as I told you, metrics per day, which is of course not enough. So I don't have enough time, so roughly this from us. I can ask any technical questions, answer after. Let me just say that some notes I took from the very nice gentleman that talked. Mr. Maroulis earlier said that they're willing to pay a premium. It's not about will. Experience from 17 years that we have in biofuels says that it's mandatory. It doesn't have to do with will. It will be forced upon your industry, unfortunately. Let me just add the example, because Mr. Peters talked about regulation, but we have lived in this environment in the automotive part. What happened there? When we went to diesel, they regulated the market. And they said, okay, there is biodiesel, it's called like that, and it has an EN 14214 standard. You will use this. But on the other hand, when they went to the gasoline cars, you know what they just did? They said, no, just drop your carbon emissions. I don't care how you do it. That's the legislation of the Greek and other. So let's not be certain that the regulation will cover your needs and tell you what to do exactly. Actually, they may drop the ball to the industry and say, just drop it, I don't care how you do it. Change propellers, clean your vessels better, use scrubbers, do whatever. So what we are offering is a viable plug-and-play solution for your ships. Actually, some other notes. I also talked about, I heard about lobbies. Lobbies do have their own interest, if you understand that. They don't have the interest of the shipping industry, which is what you should have in mind. Also another, I heard the word bet. Of course it's a bet, but rest assured that we will find it in front of us. The planet is suffering, and I think there is the will of the governments to actually solve this. And they will drop the ball to the industry directly, and this is why I think you should take more now solutions rather than hope for something that may evolve in the future. This few from me, because we don't have a lot of time. Thank you very much for your attention.